Hey, good morning channel and welcome back. Stepped out this early Saturday morning to take a look at what the situation is like because I really want to go for a ride. And oh man, it's overcast. You know, I don't care. Oh man, it's pretty chilly. I don't care. Oh, and it rained last night a good bit, so streets are wet. I just don't care. I got to get out for a ride. You guys join me. Let's go. Alright, we are off. No particular destination in mind today. Not ideal conditions, as I said. You guys can see what the streets look like. They are damp, I would say. There's no standing water. Just had to get out for a ride this morning. A little two-wheel therapy. Now you guys will notice that I have switched my GoPros. I now have the GoPro 7 on my helmet, which is lighter, by the way, and the GoPro Hero 10 on my handlebars, which also contains the receiver for the Rode wireless mics, so I can keep all that weight on the handlebars. So we're going to see how this handles. My only hesitation in this was obviously the Hero 10 is the more advanced and has better stabilization, and the camera that's on your helmet really needs the better stabilization. But we're going to see how this works. The angles, you know, the width that I'm capturing. Love this little street here. During the summer it's all green and pretty much a covered drive down here, and they just repaved it. Used to be bumpy and potholey and just difficult. I wouldn't really want to take the bike down here, but they repaved it recently. And now it's kind of buttery smooth, just very picturesque. Oh, hello cows. Moo. I speak cow. Anyway, I want to thank you, channel, if you tuned in to the very popular video I produced a few days ago for the Traxxion Dynamics Tipover protection installation. A joint effort between me and Cruz Man. We both put out videos. Mine was sort of a moto vlog and before and after, whereas his was an in-depth dive into the installation and all of that. Very, very popular. Of course, Cruz Man's channel is huge, so he's, you know, tens of thousands of views on his and got several views on mine. So thank you guys very much. If you haven't seen it, go out and check it out. If you're even thinking about tip over protection, you'll enjoy these two videos, Cruz Man's channel and mine. I'll put a link to both in the comments below and see if I can't stick them up at the top, one of these corners. I think it's this corner over here. Anyway, how was that drive? That was really cool, going through there. Literally and figuratively cool. You know, it's been a great pleasure of mine for about the last year to have become friends with Cruz Man and his good buddy Don, his other buddy Dale. Great guys, and I mean, just hilarious conversation from time to time. And, you know, Cruz Man is so professional. You guys get to see the end result of all his effort. I get a little bit of the behind the scenes into his effort. And even this morning, like we're the morning texting group, okay? Every morning. Even this morning, struggling through creating videos, and we're texting back and forth, and Don Smith, who is a virtual expert on everything Final Cut or video, you know, is trying to help out. We'll meet for breakfast tomorrow and get it all sorted out, but there's a lot of effort behind creating his videos that you guys may not see, and it comes out so polished and so well. Just want you guys to appreciate the effort he puts in to providing good content for you guys. Speaking of effort, if you got any life on YouTube, you no doubt have seen over the past few weeks just about everybody putting out a video on quitting. I'm gonna quit YouTube. And while that seems so foreign to me, like I'm pretty new and my channel's pretty small and my effort is medium to medium light on this channel, they make some good, yeah, I could never understand why anybody would want to quit this, especially some folks who are making some really good money in YouTube. Oh, hello, fire truck for my son. Anyway, you know, they talk about, you know, in a nutshell, the Reader's Digest version of this is they get away from what they loved in the beginning with YouTube. You know, they're creators or they're teachers, and they just love that aspect of YouTube and what they do. And it's become such a job, such an effort, as I spoke about earlier, that the luster has just worn right off. And the pressure of always providing content, figuring out what your next video is going to be, and figuring out that dadgum YouTube algorithm that's going to put you in front of more views. And you don't necessarily get paid for subscribers, you get paid for views. So, you know, make a great thumbnail that's engaging, that's going to capture somebody's attention, make them stop scrolling and click on your video. Interesting words, comments, catch their eye. Put a girl on your thumbnail. Good Lord, guys. You put a girl on your thumbnail and it is guaranteed to get more clicks. I don't care. It's just gonna happen. The data is out there. Oh, wow. Lots of geese out here. Anyway, they talk about the grind and the effort, and they legitimately have good reasons why they're just tired of this. You know, I'm fortunate that I have a full-time job that funds all my efforts here, the bike, the cameras. My job funds all this, and I don't have to rely on YouTube as a source of income. It's just something I do for fun. Oh, these houses are beautiful in here. You guys know I'm a Texas CPA and run the accounting department for a local company here. So yeah, I don't have to figure out how I get YouTube to put me at the front of the viewing line, you know. But boy, if I had to make this into a job, I absolutely can see how after years, maybe even a decade of doing it, these guys just Ugh, I'm either going to scale back, they say, or I'm just going to quit altogether. So, channel, the good news for you guys is I'm not going to quit. I love doing this. I love bringing videos to you guys and maybe sharing some information and some good tips from time to time. I love watching your videos too, all of you guys that produce videos out there. It's a family and we're all learning. We support each other. So anyway, not quitting. Cruz Man's not quitting. He has a video out on that too. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. And I would say most of them are not flat out quitting. They're just scaling back, maybe because it's cutting back how often they put out a video or whatever. Okay, no trouble on these wet streets with this Goldwing. I guess I should have it in rain mode. Nah. Rain mode just sort of softens the throttle response, and I don't think it's something I need. Once again this morning my Waze did not kick up. I turned the bike on first, and I have a delay on the Carlin kit device, the thing that connects my phone to my bike. I have a delay that starts up 30 seconds or 60 seconds later. So I turn on my bike, I wait a few seconds, turn on my helmet, and I get the indication in my ears that phone is connected. And it shows up on my dash there that everything's connected, but then Waze just doesn't start up. I'm baffled. It should work. And it has worked in the past. I don't know. It's just messing with me. That's what it's doing. I envy you guys up in Pennsylvania, maybe Tennessee, up in Canada. You get out on the bike and you're instantly in beautiful scenery to ride. Here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I mean, it has its moments from time to time, but for the most part it's just suburban city. I guess if you like architecture, it might be interesting to you, but you gotta go about an hour north if you want to get out and get some good rides in. With beautiful scenery here. Speaking of supporting each other, you guys go out and find Gold Rider 1. New YouTuber, new Goldwing owner, has a few videos out. Let's support him and subscribe to his channel. Help him get up and going. Learned his name through a video yesterday, Mac. Mac, welcome to the family. And so Mac, in his working days, was a warden for a correctional facility. And I look at Mac and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. We're all playing that guess our occupation game. You look at me and you say, yeah, accountant. You'd be dead on. You look at Mac, you would instantly go, ah, warden. Correctional facility. Definitely looks like a warden. Anyway, great guy, great content. He was out on his first ride yesterday. His new Goldwing. His first significant ride. Just testing it out. And he was talking about how he had heard a lot of people discuss the difficulties of slow maneuvering on these bikes. So he went out in his neighborhood and tested some slow maneuvering. Had no difficulty whatsoever, and I gotta say, I gotta agree with him. I have never once felt any difficulty, slow, fast, or otherwise, on this bike. It is buttery smooth and handles things so well. Not a single moment's problem with slow maneuvering. The only thing I can tell you about slow maneuvering is sometimes the bike, because it has an automatic clutch, not a manual clutch over here, dual clutch, actually has two clutches, okay? I know from time to time we say it has no clutch. That's incorrect. It has a clutch, it's just automatic, not manual. And so I know from time to time when I'm going pretty slow and I'm in like second gear, the bike will decide to drop down into first gear, and it'll surprise you. It sometimes does it and you're not quite ready for it, and that can be a little jerky and concerning, but it's not all that bad, to be honest with you. That's the only thing I've found, that if I had more control, and I would if I put it in manual, but I bought a DCT. Why do I want manual? Anyway, you can control that if you want to. But I'm with Mac. I had no problem in slow maneuvering on this bike. And I just love everything about this bike. I mean, here out on this chilly morning, I've got it in rain mode, I've got the seat warmers on halfway, I've got the grip warmers on halfway. I am just fine. That would not have been the case on the VTX. Not have been the case. Anyway, I'm getting off track, but you guys go out and find Gold Rider 1, subscribe to his channel, support him as we continue to grow our Goldwing family here. One thing that's a little different since we don't have a manual clutch is it's hard to coast. Like if you need to take your hand off the throttle to do something, used to you could just pull in the clutch, you know, if it's a few seconds, pull in the clutch and you're good to go. I've found with the Goldwing I have to engage the cruise control and set it so that it'll maintain the speed so that I can take my hand off the throttle for a few seconds, do what I need to do, put my hand back on the throttle, disengage the cruise control. That works as well. That's my workaround for not having a coast feature on here. You know, even though it is a little chilly and wet and overcast, it's got kind of a beauty to it. A lot of contrast, variation from the dark and the light out here. Every house these days, some version of light brick, light stone with dark trim. That must be the avocado green from the 70s sort of thing for today, for this time. You know, back in the 70s, everybody had the avocado green. Refrigerator, dishwasher, shag carpet. Today, it's light colored brick. Hey, bikers. Today, it's light colored brick, dark trim. And if your brick is a different color, you're painting your brick these days. And I don't care if you're a residential, like a house, or a school, or a church. You're making your brick light. I mean, I like it, don't get me wrong, I think it's cool. It's a bit overdone, but there's some very beautiful houses that are done in that sort of architecture and motif. Just out for a ride this morning, getting some two-wheel therapy in. Channel, you know I appreciate you guys. religiously tuning in just to hear me yak on video in my deep south accent with my heavy breathing and my ums, this, that. And yet y'all come back, so thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And we are sort of a, you know, virtual family. Support each other, lift each other up. You guys have a blessed weekend, and I will talk to you again soon, my friends. And until then, ride safe and God bless.